Hi loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your Chiron conjunct with someone's north node in Synastry or vice versa. So the north node in astrology shows where the soul is going. It is a point of destiny, but it may feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar at first, but ultimately when we go towards our north node, we feel fulfilled and we feel like we are living our destiny. Chiron is actually kind of a similar energy. Chiron in our natal chart represents our wound, our pain, our wounded healer part of ourself. But once we bring awareness to this wound, it actually ends up being one of our gifts and, one of our big parts of our healing mission here. So this contact can be incredibly painful because both of the placements, the North Node and Chiron, are challenging. And so, because there's so much learning and growth involved. So this is definitely a karmic connection. This is, and I don't mean karmic in a negative way. A lot of times people think when I'm saying karmic, I mean like it's a negative karmic energy. I don't mean that. I just mean that it's like a soul contract. There is like a past life energy involved, or with this one, it's kind of like this is a person that is meant to pull you towards your destiny. Okay. And this contact, it can feel very heavy. So when the North Node person is, going more towards their North Node, it can bring up that deep wound in the Chiron person. And the Chiron person can feel just so deeply wounded by the North Node person just going after what their soul is intending to go for in this lifetime. So they both can really trigger each other a lot. Like when I see this one in the Synastry chart, I really know like this is a healing soulmate connection. This is probably a painful relationship. I have seen this in relationships where there's a lot of animosity or a lot of like even jealousy, pain, trauma, like toxic relationships. Like it can get pretty ugly with this placement. It can. It doesn't have to be like that. But it can. It can be not one of the easier Chiron connections in Synastry to see, because when that North Node person is really going for their North Node, they're triggering the Chiron person. But depending where the Chiron person is at with their Chiron, they actually can both be very healed by this connection. So that's the positive of this aspect, is that underneath all those triggered feelings, when we have this connection, we feel definitely a strong connection. We feel even a fascination with this person. I mean, there's just something about them that is so like they are meant to be a part of our destiny. And then the pain starts getting triggered, or the wound starts getting triggered, and they can feel like they're holding each other back in some way, but that's actually not true with this connection. They actually are moving towards their future timeline with this energy, but the way that the world is currently set up and the way that many people are not quite aware of what their soul plan is and their destiny is, it can make this connection really bring that up. This connection can really bring up a feeling of like loneliness on this planet, like as far as our soul mission goes and our destiny goes. Like it can really bring that up, that we are so not on track. If we're really not on track with our healing mission or our North Node destiny, this relationship can really bring that up, and that realization in itself can be quite painful, right? Now, let's say we're both on the healing path and we're both, really, sorry, my dogs are barking. They gotta just bark when I'm doing videos. They don't bark when I'm not doing videos, but people have to come and be there when I'm doing videos and the dogs bark, sorry. But yeah, like let's say, so with this connection, we're both on a healing path, we're quite aware of this, and we are aware of our soul's mission and stuff like that. That's when we're going to realize that this connection is a soulmate connection the most, because we're going to feel that energy of them helping us. The best use of this would be like we open up a healing center together, or we write an astrology book together, or something like that is like the highest use of this energy. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go like that, right? Because like a lot of the time people are not aware, like this is like, maybe there's only one astrologer in this connection and the other person is just like totally unaware. And then, so it can be one person sort of pining for the other person. There can be that, feeling of love not reciprocated here when someone's being, triggered by this. So there's lots of potentials for this aspect, but I do feel that it is a soulmate connection, and the purpose of it is healing, right? The purpose of it is one person is gaining a lot of healing and the other person is getting a kickstart towards their destiny by being around the other person. So the North Node person is really getting an opportunity to go full force into their North Node and learn their soul lessons that they came here to learn. And then the Chiron person is learning how to heal their Chiron wound. And by just, depending on where the Chiron person is at, by just being around, by the North Node person, just being around them, they're actually getting they're getting codes towards their North Node and towards their destiny. So it sort of depends on where both people are at, whether this is just going to be like the most painful relationship of your entire life, or if this is actually going to be the most healing relationship of your entire life, or that relationship that really changes the course of your entire life, right? And it could do that for both people. It really could, because Chiron and the North Node are similar in their energy. They are both points that need to be aware of the wound and healing, right? Because there's always a reason, like with that North Node energy, why is it so uncomfortable, right? It's because we need to bring healing and awareness to it. And it's the exact same as Chiron. We need to bring awareness of the wound and then we heal the wound. The North Node is a little bit more future oriented than Chiron, but they are similar in energy. So this one is really either really, really painful, really, really healing. Usually it's going to be a bit of both. And this is definitely an unforgettable relationship, a connection that you will look back on and be like, wow, that really changed my life, whether in a positive or negative manner. It really depends on the people involved and the sign involved too. You want to look at, with this one specifically too, you want to really, with all of the Chiron synastry or any synastry, you want to look at the sign involved, right? Like, so what is being activated here? Like, is it Scorpio energy, like of transformation, death and rebirth, and powerful intimacy and emotions and sexuality? Is that what's being activated by the North Node here and Chiron, or is it something else? Is it, Pisces energy? Is it that, divine spirituality and, connectedness with all of life and emotions, and like, you kind of can go through with each sign and really, meditate on, okay, what is this person bringing up for me? Because when it's just a bunch of pain and it's like all mushed together in your emotional body and it's like hard to figure out what's going on, if you can really look at the sign, look at the house, and allow yourself to meditate on either your Chiron or your North Node, that's going to really help you get what you need to get out of this relationship, because it's meant to be something. It's not by random chance. It's definitely some type of soul thing here to help you activate to your next level or your, more higher expression. So there's sort of like a sacredness to Chiron synastry that you don't get this type of healing from just anyone. So it is sacred, it is soulmates, and you kind of have to figure out for yourself, okay, what am I learning from this? Because it's definitely something when we've got Chiron conjunct the North Node. So I hope this has made some sense. It's kind of even hard to explain because when we're talking about Chiron and the North Node, it's both kind of like soul points. So it's hard for me to translate it into human, but I hope I've done okay. And I'd love to hear your experiences of this placement below. Let me know in the comments. And I do offer one-on-one sessions. I do synastry sessions, and I also do personal natal chart readings with a focus on your soul purpose. And my links are below. Okay, love you guys and talk soon.